Good evening, everybody. Sorry for another late night video, even though it's only a little after 7 o'clock. Looks like a fox just ran across the road, some little animal. Didn't quite see it. But anyhow, my daughter told me the other night that I'm a nerd, which I guess is true because we turned on, we don't have regular television, we just have the internet, but you can get some local channels on locast.org, and they were showing Son of Kong, and I was just so excited because Son of Kong was on a TV channel called Movies or something like that. And after that, they showed the original Little Shop of Horrors, both of which I've seen many, many times, too many to count. But it was a pleasure to see those on TV. And another sign that I'm a nerd, but I think it's something that is very important, is, I mean, I'm 36 years old now, but when I turned 18, well, you know, a lot of kids, when they turn 21, they right away want to go to a bar and drink, and I didn't. I'd been drinking wine and schnapps before that at shul, kiddush, people's houses for Shabbos meals, especially in Israel where it's legal from 18. So it really wasn't that big of a deal for me. But I wasn't like, oh, I gotta have my first legal drink when I'm 18, when I'm 21 rather. But you know what, I was excited when I turned 18, even though I turned 18 in January and I had to wait till November, maybe a little earlier. There was the primary vote. But the thing that excited me the most about turning 18, not driving, I didn't start driving till I was, I don't know, almost 25. But maybe it wasn't down to 23, 24 before I started driving. I was married for about a year or more. I think my wife had already given birth to my oldest daughter, so I was 23, 24, something like that, when I started to drive. So I wasn't excited to drive, wasn't excited to drink, and those two shouldn't go together, but I was extremely, extremely excited to vote. That was something I really looked forward to, and I was very happy when, you know, my 9-year-old daughter said, "Could I vote?" I said, "Well, you have to be 18." She's like, "Yeah, but when I'm 18, can I vote?" I was like, "Of course, you better." You know, and I grew up, you know, with my parents always voting, my grandparents taking me to vote, my father taking me to vote, and I think that's a very important thing for parents to bring their children to vote, so they should see it. I remember my Zayd Oliver Shalom even let me pull the handle with the old machines where you would flip the little tabs and then pull the handle to register your vote, and it's just something so satisfying about using those old machines. And I remember we had some local, I think, school board election or something. They let us use the old machines, and that was like 2-3 years ago, and I was so excited to still use those old machines. It was something really special about that. And I remember even in high school, when we would vote for a school president or something, they let us use those machines, I remember. But then I know last year or the year before, they switched to the new machines with the paper ballots, and I was so disappointed because I missed those old machines with the little tabs and you pull the lever. Or I remember in Virginia we voted just a touch screen. That was kind of underwhelming. But anyway, if you're not registered to vote, which I ran across someone who I respect very much, a very choshev bacher, and he's a lawyer, and he's not registered to vote, and I couldn't believe it. How is it that this man is not registered to vote? A Talmid Chacham and a worldly person, and not registered to vote. Baruch Hashem, I convinced him to register to vote. He managed in time before the October 9th deadline to register. But I just can't believe, and the truth of the matter is you can still register to vote after the deadline, you just can't be guaranteed to vote on the machine without the deadline. But my goodness, if you're not registered to vote, go register to vote and make sure you vote. I don't know what else to say. And I don't think I'm being a nerd by saying that, even though I guess I'm a nerd, because I was more excited to register to vote than to actually to have a legal drink or to drive or anything like that. But I really looked forward to voting, and even when I was in Jerusalem studying in yeshiva, I would vote absentee, and I always voted. I never could imagine not voting. I'd fill out the absentee ballot. I cannot imagine, how is it that you don't vote? And the other thing that I'd like to say, though, is if you have a winterized summer home or weekend home in a small town, and you're paying taxes there and everything, you can pick that to be your place to vote. You don't have to go somewhere else to vote. You don't have to, you don't have, if you live in the city and your vote's not going to count as much, and you can vote in the small local elections upstate or wherever it is, or if you have a weekend home in Pennsylvania and you can put in a vote for President Trump where it really counts. Although I wouldn't be surprised this year if New York is in play. I know people saying that's impossible, but nothing's impossible, especially if a lot of people never voted before. Let's get out to vote. It doesn't matter if you live in New York, you live in California, live in a deep blue state. Go out and vote for President Trump. Don't let them get you down, because he can win this. We can win this, because it's not just President Trump. It's the American people who are going to win if he wins, and it's the American people who are going to lose if Joe Biden wins. If you heard the story, what happened, forget about all this about his son. Let's focus on the things that matter, like we talked about before. Packing the courts, statehood for D.C., for Guam, for Puerto Rico, all this stuff. That's bad enough, But then we go weiter and we see how there was a revolutionary guy, a communist who was caught on tape saying, how, Biden is just going to be a puppet, and if he doesn't do what they say, they're gonna make violent revolts, just like if Trump wins, all these horrible things. And then they asked James O'Keefe from Project Veritas actually found this guy, approached him, interviewed him, and the guy admitted to all of this stuff. We are in danger. If the Democrats win, this is the end of America as we know it. We will be a third world banana republic if the Democrats win. So that's why it's so important. Vote like your life depends on it, because it probably does. They're going to take away our religious freedom. If they could get away with all this stuff, closing down churches, mosques, and synagogues for a pandemic, they're going to get away with much worse if they win. We got to win this. We got to win this big. We can't let them cheat, because we know they're going to cheat. We know that they're going to have dead people voting, a million things. We can't let them get away with this. We got to win this, and we got to win it bigly. So, we gotta work on this. And if you know anybody who's not registered to vote, get them to register. We gotta win this. We gotta win this bigly. All right. Thank you for watching. God bless. Please like, share, and subscribe. Comment. And we'll see y'all later. Take care.